Hi, welcome to the Word of the Week. This week's word is cultivation. This was suggested to us by Suzanne Martin. Now, cultivation is basically the process of refining or helping to grow. So, often it's related to the process of growing like plants and things. So when we think about the process that it takes for growth of a plant to go from a seed to a full-blown tree, it's going to take you take the seed and you place it into the soil and you water it and you give it sunshine and you give it all the nutrients that it needs, and then it's going to begin to grow and it will eventually mature into a full-blown tree. Now, the process of cultivation for us as individuals is pretty much the same. Right? Within each of us is a seed of greatness. In grand scale and even in just smaller things, you may be the potential to be a great musician or a great athlete or a great teacher. Right? Any of these things. So the seed is there. It just needs to be nourished. And those skills that are within us, those abilities that are within us, are allowed to grow and to blossom, to cultivate and to grow into something that is much more than it started out as. But for that to happen, we need to have that nourishment. We need to have the positive reinforcement that's going to help us to grow. But the other thing that we need is environment. You see, if you take a plant and you plant the seed and you give it all of the things that it needs, the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of water, right, all that sort of stuff, that's great. But if it's in the wrong environment, if it's an orange tree and you plant it in the Arctic Circle, it's not going to work. So the environment must be in alignment with the goal that you have for the growth either of the plant or for the individual. So that's one of the things that I've really worked hard for myself in the development of what I do, is to try to create an environment that allows others to come in and to get the nourishment that they need, to get that information that they need that's going to help them to change their lives, to help them to cultivate themselves, but to make that environment so that it is really supportive of what's going on mentally and in the heart. All right? So as we continue our process of cultivating ourselves, of refining ourselves, remember, it's going to take time and it's going to take energy. So it's what we in Chinese martial arts say, Kung Fu. It's going to take some work, but as long as you keep sight of what your goal is and you get that nourishment, you keep that positive environment, you're going to certainly see step by step that you're going to get closer and closer to being the you that you really want to be. All right, I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson, and we'll see you next week.